Arkham Origins has always been one of the best versions of, probably one of the best Arkham games that had the greatest boss fights in all time, in my opinion. Arkham Origins definitely had the best boss fights in the entire series, right? But when it comes down to it, the 8 Assassins definitely felt like they could have been done better. However, we're not here to talk about that today. We're going to treat it as a gauntlet, going from Killer Croc all the way to Bane, and then seeing who would definitely be the most difficult. And today, we're going to see if these five, Chris Redfield, Strider Hiryu, Farah, Midnight, and Kaiju number 8, are capable of surviving, if not beating, these assassins. Spoiler alert, it is not going to end well for the assassins. But be sure to comment down below, like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and let's begin. First hero we got here is Chris Redfield. Now, my good boy Chris from Resident Evil actually is the most, I'll probably say the most normal one here, to be honest, when it comes to his abilities. I mean, he's incredibly strong for like absolutely no reason. Like, this dude was literally pushing a boulder, got so mad, by the way, that he literally punched it into a volcano, as you see before you. Sure, it took a little bit of effort, but the fact that he was able to do this to something that was literally over twice his size, or like probably 3 times his size, to be honest, is ridiculous. Then you got the fact that he's able to rip giant spikes out of monsters that have like city block level scaling and straight up just stab him in the face with it. It's just, again, Chris was an absolute monster. Then being able to react to characters like Wesker, a mask-enhanced Jill, and stuff like that. You know, characters that can easily block bullets or dodge bullets. And then you also have Wesker being able to dodge rockets. So yeah, Chris would definitely be around those supersonic margins as well. And the fact that he can, you know, he's a very skilled marksman. He does carry his signature rifle as well, but he also has a grenade launcher that's simply attached to him as well here. So, excuse me. Yeah, let's start off with Chris. Now, believe it or not, I actually think he does beat up a large majority of the assassins. And considering we'll do this in a gauntlet-like fashion, I think he honestly clears, with the biggest difficulty being Lady Shiva. Now, this is because Lady Shiva's skill level is, you know, pretty much ridiculous in the Arkham lore, apparently. You know, she's holding back against Batman, but again, she, you know, also trained him when he was Bruce Wayne. So she's one of the few people that may actually know that, you know, Batman is Bruce Wayne. However, considering the fact that her skill level is unmatched as well, I would definitely say she gives Chris a hard time. But again, Chris is physically superior to her and is fast enough, if not flat out faster than her, considering this is a very young Batman as well. He ain't doing that whole, yeah, let me dodge them rockets kind of deal here. So Chris would likely just beat up a large majority of the Arkham inmates, or the Arkham assassins, excuse me. So Bane, Killer Croc, all would get stumped out, and Chris honestly would just clear this with low difficulty. Next off, we have Strider Hiryu, and keep in mind this was very difficult to find stuff for him. I mean, dear God, this dude is like absolutely difficult to even find stuff for, so yeah, I did my best here for him. But Strider casually gets into the city block levels of attack potency. This is because he was able to crush a gravity core, which apparently has the like same amount of output as a nuke. So yeah, he definitely gets to like city block to city level quite casually. So that's obviously going to be a very big advantage here. Then we also have the fact that he has mechanical animals, eagles, lions, and then there's this little orb thing here. He uses the eagles and jaguars, or saber-tooths, excuse me, to actually bombard his opponents and overwhelm them. They can even restrain opponents and even electrocute people as well. He also has his signature sword as well, being able to cut through steel and pretty much anything. He even was able to cut through the reinforced metal of the gravity core and stuff like that as well. He also is able to teleport. He can even skip or flash step in and kill his opponents pretty easily. So yeah, he's got a lot of scaling. But if I use the Marvel vs. Capcom scaling, then dear God, it's an entire nightmare. So you get that dude to like multiversal quite casually. But with that being said here, how does he deal with the Arkham assassins? He clears. Like, negative difficulty, in all honesty. Deathstroke, Shiva, Copperhead, even if we said we could keep this in the same tier and category as Batman, right? He would just be simply too fast, too durable, and I would honestly say too versatile for them, in all honesty, if we just kept it in the same tier as Batman. And so Copperhead and Lady Shiva would definitely be the most difficult in that department. Deathstroke would be a close one, but again, his tech is more advanced than anything in there. I mean, dude literally has a mechanical army he can summon, could literally teleport and create after image of himself, and then he can also flash step and blitz them as well. So even if we said we're going to keep him in the same tier as Batman, he would still outstat them in just about every category. Copperhead's poison wouldn't work either, on the same way it would probably affect Chris if she's able to get a good slice on him, because again, he would actually be way too durable, plus he would definitely be too fast for her to even get that off. So Copperhead wouldn't be able to do her whole let me maneuver my body on you type of stuff, right? So Strider Hiryu definitely clears this with a negative difficulty, but again, I guess you could say you could struggle a little bit, but yeah, negative diff. Now for our first Overwatch character on this channel, Farah. And yeah, I actually do think she has a very good chance here. And this is one of the few characters that actually is in the same tier as the Arkham Origins Batman. Again, just because, her armor and stuff. Plus, Overwatch characters are actually pretty interesting where they scale. Some of them actually get to those mountain ranges, but again, there's also the kind of more, I guess you could say, easier ranges to scale, right? So Farah, with her armor, would actually scale to characters like Genji and Orisha, who have been able to slice and destroy buses and cars, which is around the small building to building level attack potency. Then you have her weaponry. Her having things like rocket launchers. She could even shoot a barrage of missiles as well. Her armor is also incredibly durable, even be able to take attacks from characters that can blow up the head of statues and even destroy statues like quite casually. So yeah, she's got some incredible gear as well. Her suit also allows her to fly at supersonic speeds as well, so she'll be able to definitely blitz and catch a lot of characters, especially the one character we're just really going to focus on here. And again, the fact that she can likely use her thrusters in combat as well. In terms of her IQ, she's also incredibly intelligent, but she also comes equipped with a force field, so if she does get into like any bad circumstances, she can easily just activate that and kind of just get her out of the situation entirely. So with that being said, oh, I forgot, she has a couple settings for a rocket launcher, right? She has the simple blast where, simple rocket, simple shot, GG's, right? However, she can also unleash a barrage of missiles as well. So potentially an entire missile flurry. She also has a concussive blast, which is one of her, I guess you could say, safest blasts here. Basically her firing a concussive force that's able to knock opponents out or knock opponents back. And then I think that's pretty much it. I don't remember she has like some sort of electrical tasing or anything, but again, that is pretty much going to do it for her. But now let's talk about the assassins. And I don't think anyone could really get her or get through her armor unless they like target her face and stuff like that. But again, her armor allows her to be just substantially stronger and more durable than them. And I honestly don't really see a problem with her clearing the list, especially with her missile barrage and her force field kind of just being the way to kind of go about it. Plus, not many of these opponents seem like they have anything to really counter flying except for Firefly. And he might be her most difficult fight, keywords being might. But again, her being able to use her jetpack and her being able to outmaneuver and just straight up yank him and stuff like that. Plus, we know Firefly isn't physically strong either, so as soon as she closes the distance, it's GG at that point. Now, on to Lady Midnight herself. And believe it or not, she is the weakest on this list, surprisingly. Now, again, there is a plenty of ways you can scale a lot of My Hero Academia characters. You can scale them easily to city block level, even some of the weaker ones as well. And then you have the building class. Now, Midnight herself is actually a little bit interesting. She doesn't do too much in the series from what I can actually gather. But again, she is capable of withstanding attacks from characters that are able to affect some of the other members of Class 1A like Mina and I forgot the redhead guy's name. Please remind me. And so, last time I scaled Mina, she could easily get to City Block quite casually. So, her being able to take attacks from a being that can harm them, I think should cement her as a City Block level character. Now, her quirk is that she's able to emit this pheromone that allows people to fall asleep or fall in love with her. Now, it's stated that it works especially on males, so obviously, this would mean that Copperhead and Lady Shiva are going to be a little bit difficult to put down. But again, with her stats, she should be able to at least contend with them until her pheromones ultimately work. Or she might just activate it before they fight, and it's just, you know, it's just good at that point. I mean, they could still fall for it. We know that other heroes and stuff, oh, sorry, not other heroes, other villains and stuff can fall for this kind of, you know, pheromone trap and stuff like that, or pheromone abilities, and then they could just be knocked out at that point. But again, I do think Midnight would clear this list. I mean, I do think some of the characters might give her a hard time. Bane might be strong enough to resist her pheromones. But again, more or less, Lady Shiva, Copperhead, and maybe Firefly, because he's wearing a mask and stuff like that, that, you know, allows him to kind of be in the air and stuff like that. So Midnight, I think Midnight could do it, but I think she would get through it with some mid to high difficulty, depending on where you scale her. And last but not least, we have Kaiju number 8, Kefka. Well, yeah, he clears. I'm sorry, there's really no other way about it. He just straight up steamrolls at this point. It's just, it's not fair. It really ain't. The fact that this dude is able to move faster than the speed of sound, being able to literally beat down Kaiju to a bloody pulp. By the way, this would actually upscale him as well, because he's able to like one-shot Kaiju to the point where they're able to like basically become a bloody pulp at this point. Then he has multi-city block level feats. Not city block, multi-city block level feats. So again, Kefka is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to his attack potency. So you really don't have a way for any of the Arkham assassins to really harm him, keep up with him, or even being able to, well, attack him. So it's just, it's not fair at this point. I mean, this guy is literally even has moon level stats with him being able to tank an explosion that was capable of departing clouds. So, yeah, dude's pretty busted. There's no assassin on this list that can honestly beat him. So it's just, there's no way. Everyone gets accidentally reduced to a bloody pulp, or maybe intentionally, because we know that this dude has really no problem killing. So everyone gets reduced to a bloody pulp at this point, just straight up one-shotted here. But now let's go on to the ranking. Now, Midnight does struggle the most here, simply due to her powers and abilities, and the fact that she doesn't have too many physical feats to suggest that she would hang with a lot of them in hand-to-hand combat. But with her given an overall stat, she would definitely be able to do it. Chris and Farah are kind of in the same boat. They have way too many gadgets and gears to not clear this. Strider and then Kefka also have the same thing. But with Strider, he's a lot more well-trained than the rest of them on this list. Plus, again, he is a lot faster. And then Kefka is just straight up a stat monster on this list. Definitely got to give him a versus battle and maybe a survival video on this channel. You know what? I'll just add him to the single characters list, all right? So with that being said, please comment down below, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And yeah, y'all have a blessed day.